The island of Oahu has reached a big milestone. 100% of our Kapuna have been vaccinated for COVID-19. That's according to the state health department. All residents 65 and older on Oahu have received at least their initial vaccines. Mayor Rick Blangiardi gave much of the credit to the Kapuna Vaccination Outreach Group, also known as KVOG, a coalition of more than 50 organizations dedicated to vaccine access. The mayor held a ceremony today at Honolulu Hale and declared May 6, 2022 to be KVOG Day.
Verbal challenges, but there was a common language amongst all, especially as it related to Kapuna, of fear and uncertainty. That theme was rampant because we were watching pictures from the mainland that showed that our Kapuna were the most vulnerable. They were highly targeted. I mean, this was a great human experience in some ways. Despite the suffering and the sickness, it brought out the best in people.
KVOG's efforts included providing more than 10,000 vaccines to low-income senior centers and adult daycare facilities across Oahu.
Well, family members of a missing man on Maui say they're holding out hope as search efforts continue. 61-year-old Thomas Lockhart of Salinas, California, was last seen on Sunday morning at a Kipahulu Valley farm. His family reported him missing after he didn't come back from a jog in the Pipivai Trails area. Lockhart's sister, Carol Bass, describes her brother as adventurous and a former marathon runner who often goes on 10-mile runs and bike rides. She says Lockhart was on Maui visiting his daughter, Madeline, who works at a coffee farm.
He loves his daughters. They are working their relationship like a lot of families. And we love Tom, and we just appreciate every effort, the police, the fire department, the Coast Guard, the Chris's group, the Maui group, every effort. We appreciate it so much.
Some members of Lockhart's family, including his other daughter, have flown in to help in the search, joining volunteers with Maui Search and Rescue and the Search Tech Advisory Team. He's described as 6'1", 165 pounds with gray hair and blue eyes. If you have any information, you're asked to call Maui Police. Well, the University of Hawaii men's volleyball team can win its second straight national title tomorrow when it takes on Long Beach State in the NCAA tournament final.
It'll be a battle between two familiar foes. After the break, KITV4's Keith DeMolder will have a preview of the championship game from Los Angeles.
You're watching KITV4 Island News.
The NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship has come down to two Big West teams, Hawaii and rival Long Beach State. Now, the Bows beat the Beach 2 weeks ago to capture the conference tournament title, but can they do it again for all the marbles? KITV4's Keith DeMolder is in Los Angeles and has this preview.
It's the calm before the storm. An empty Pauley Pavilion in less than 24 hours is going to be a raucous atmosphere for the 2022 national title game. And how fitting, it's the Beach and the Bows, the biggest rivalry in college volleyball, playing on the biggest stage. A rematch of the 2019 national title game, and the Rainbow Warriors want only one thing: revenge.
We play them so often that we can't make them all like super emotional. They're a good team in our league. We're going to play them, 2, 3, 4 times a year. So, yeah, we want to avenge every loss that we've had, and it's no different, playing against Long Beach for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have played some epic matches with UH for years. There's a tremendous amount of respect. Don't ever confuse the competitiveness with our team or their team without respecting each other's programs. I mean, the volleyball IQ and the level being played with these two teams over the last many years is exceptional.
This year, though, it was the Bows getting the last laugh. Hawaii punched its ticket to Tinseltown 2 weeks ago with a 3-set sweep over Long Beach in the Big West title game. But will history repeat itself? This year, both teams say everything is different. Different players, different location, and the Bows are hoping maybe a different result.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of history playing Long Beach in really important matches, and again, we get to play them again for a national championship, and I think we're ready, prepared. We had a lot of growth this season, and ready for the game on Saturday.
We've played in the championship match 3 times in a row here, but with really 3 different teams. So this team will be a whole new group of new experiences, and and how they handle it and come out and compete.
And despite so many differences, there is one thing that has not changed: the amount of passion these two fan bases are going to showcase on Saturday night.
One, I would say it's a little easier to get here on the 405 than flying across the Pacific Ocean, so I'm going to guess they got a couple more people than we do. But our fans have been awesome, and they are passionate and rabid, and will be there in full force, and we appreciate every one of them showing up.
Neutral site, Hawaii brings some good fans wherever they're playing. Luckily, Long Beach is just down the road, so hoping a lot of people show up and continue the support we have from the school, our president, athletic director, all around, and we'll show up.
So the stage is set. The Rainbow Warriors with the rivalry for the ages. The Bows and the Beach. Part 2 in the national title game. Make sure if you want to watch it live, it's on ESPN2 starting at 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 5 p.m. Pacific time, or just keep it right here on KITV4 Island News for more coverage going forward. But for now, reporting in Los Angeles, I'm Keith DeMolder, KITV4 Island Sports.
Thank you, Keith. Well, this Sunday is Mother's Day. It's a time that we take our moms out for brunch or maybe shower her with flowers and treats. But one of the best gifts that we can give our moms is some personal time to relax and de-stress. Coming up after the break, why moms could use a break.
You're watching KITV4 Island News.
It's meant to be the state's top scientific laboratory, handling major health and environmental issues. But new photos show the facility has some major problems.
KITV4's Tom George gives us a look at what's wrong and what's being done to fix it.
Well, behind this gate, one of the most important facilities when it comes to our state's public health, everything from DUI testing to COVID to our water safety, it's all handled at the state lab. But one environmentalist is raising the alarm, saying that the facilities might not be up to par. When you think of a lab, especially at the Department of Health level, you probably think clean and high tech.
The image that should be taken away from a lab is that the white glove, you're wiping the windowsill and look, Ma, no dirt.
But these new images sent by a whistleblower to environmental activist Carol Cox show the opposite at the state's facility in Pearl City, painting a much different picture.
A lab with a hole in the roof with water pans collecting the water inside the lab itself, mold in the tiles. The integrity of that lab is zero.
Some pictures even show sensitive equipment like gas chromatographs covered up with plastic. DOH insists no samples were impacted by the water damage. The pictures of the damage, though, enough to prompt lawmakers to step in.
It is very alarming, and I'm not sure what the situation was. As soon as we heard of it in the state legislature, especially for the finance committee, we wanted to make sure that the resources were there necessary.
The amount they came up with, $14 million, approved by the legislature. DOH says they'll have the roof issues fixed by next year, but lawmakers want to know why nothing was done sooner, and they want more oversight.
It definitely crosses the line when we cannot provide our state workers a proper and safe working facility.
As for Cox, he says that change starts at the top, blaming lab director Edward Desmond, who he also says allowed millions of dollars worth of COVID tests to expire. DOH wouldn't comment on his performance, but said they are committed to fixing the problems and filling more staff to expand testing. Cox says he'll believe it when he sees it and wonders if anything would have been done if not for these pictures.
And I'm here to say to you, I don't trust him as far as I could throw an elephant, so to speak.
Tom George, KITV4, Island News.